flavored Crisco and flour, and I am combining it together with my hand, adding water, dumping it on my board, and I'm going to form my crust. In the crust, I'm going to put my pumpkin together, which is fresh pumpkin that I cut and cooked with pumpkin pie spice, a little bit of, very little bit of clove, cinnamon, and that's it. I use this type of cheese to reduce the calories. My pumpkin filling and my cream cheese, and closed it. Then I used a fork to close the edges, and make sure you patch up all your little areas where the pumpkin. And there's my fried pie. Different shapes. This is a more traditional shape here. It's kind of like your fast food restaurant shape. These turn out flaky every single time I use butter flavored Crisco. The pies are ready. You can top them with a little bit of granulated sugar while they're still hot and serve. Or you can do powdered sugar. The benefits of pumpkin are basically endless. It's a powerful antioxidant, and the seeds are fantastic. So when you use your fresh pumpkin, I suggest you save the seeds, and that's our next recipe. We're going to make something from the seeds. But for families who have cancer in their family, pumpkin is great to combat prostate cancer and other forms of aggressive cancers. Pumpkin, and especially pumpkin seeds. This is called guinea hen weed. It grows wild in the Caribbean and some parts of India. When drink as a tea, combined with our pumpkin seeds, it has been known and documented to fight prostate cancer and other types of aggressive cancers.
So, Chris, tell us what it is exactly that you do and how you got involved with this.
So, my name is Chris Sharma. I'm a professional rock climber. I've been climbing for almost 25 years. And yeah, it's a huge honor for me to be able to participate and be a part of the Point Break film and kind of coach the climbers, kind of help coordinate the climbing scene in general, and actually be a stunt double as well. So yeah, it was a long process, and there was a lot of different elements to it, and for sure, it was a dream come true to get to go climb in Angel Falls as well. So
how many climbs do you actually make in a year?
It always varies, but I usually climb around, I don't know, 200 days a year, something like that. Climbing is really my life. It's who I am. It's my passion. It's what, one of the things that makes me the most happy in life. And yeah, it's really kind of like the window through which I view the world. Everything I do is kind of has something to do with climbing, and it's something that's so much fun. I recommend everyone try it.
Now, is there, do you research when you are getting ready to do a climb, do you research extensively where you're going to climb?
Yeah, so one of the really cool things about climbing is the element of travel. We travel all around the world, looking for the, next great spot to go climb. Oftentimes, depending on the seasons, but that really is something that kind of defines our lifestyle, is traveling around the world to these different spots. And, right now I spend a lot of time in Spain, but oftentimes I come back here to California. For this film, we were in Venezuela on Angel Falls. And yeah, there's a lot of research involved, always talking to local people, getting the local knowledge. And that's one of the really neat things about climbing, is that this element of travel, learning about new cultures, meeting new people, new languages. So climbing is one of these interesting activities that kind of brings you into contact with all these new experiences. And of course, climbing has been kind of the main focus always, but through climbing, I've had all these amazing experiences and met all these really great people, and learned different languages and had all these, amazing life experiences along the way.
Now, do you have any particular type of climbing that you do, or that you like better than the other, like free climbing as opposed to climbing with ropes?
Yeah, I would say for me, what we call free climbing, which is, climbing with your hands and your feet on the rock, that's definitely my my main focus is dedicating myself to climb extremely difficult faces. So oftentimes that's with ropes, but it's always about climbing with your hands and your feet and really trying to find the most cutting edge, most difficult things where you're climbing with hanging on to just, tiny little grips. Oftentimes you're climbing, maybe upside down, and it's really, very physical, a lot of fitness required. Oftentimes it's referred to as sport climbing, but it's really kind of pushing the envelope on what's humanly possible. It's an amazing journey that's taken me all around the world in search of the most beautiful, most difficult cliffs, and I've had the opportunity to climb the most difficult things out there. So it's been an amazing ride.
Have you ever had any close calls climbing?
Yeah, so climbing, if you do it right and you use good judgment, can be quite safe, but throughout the 20-something years I've been climbing, I've definitely had my fair share of close calls and a few injuries here and there. Luckily, knock on wood, it's nothing's been too serious, and I've been able to stay out of trouble. But it's something that we always have to be super vigilant on and really take care of safety, because usually if we're paying attention, we're able to avoid any sort of dangerous situation. But the dangerous times come when you're just so used to doing these things. It's like the back of your hand, and that's usually when we make a human error. We'll forget to tie our knot right, or we won't pay attention to a loose piece of rock up there, or maybe there's a storm coming in. But it's really with good judgment you can avoid probably 99% of any sort of dangerous situations. And that 1%, there's always these moments of making calculated risk. But if you're really aware and conscious and have experience in those situations, you can make calculated risks and do things that would appear to be super dangerous but are actually quite controlled. So, but that's definitely the fine point right there, is that it's in control, right? You don't want to just roll the dice, because there's a lot of great things in life, a lot of beautiful cliffs that I still want to see, and I don't plan on dying climbing, so I'm gonna try to stay safe.
Now, do you normally climb with other people, or do you climb by yourself?
So climbing is a really it's a beautiful activity. Sometimes you're climbing with other people, sometimes with yourself, some alone. I really appreciate both sides of that. The camaraderie of climbing with a partner, and the friendships that I've built over the years with my climbing partners. It's some of the deepest friendships that I have. So I really value that interaction, that camaraderie. But there's moments when it's really beautiful just to be out in nature by yourself. One of my favorite things is to go climbing above the sea in Mallorca, Spain, where we climb 60, 70 feet up above the ocean, and oftentimes we just go by ourselves, and the waves will be crashing, and it's definitely it's special moments to be just all alone, surrounded by such intense nature. But climbing is one of those things that you can kind of approach it in whatever way that you feel like. If you want to go in a group of people, go with a group of friends. If you want to go by yourself, you want to go to a climbing gym, you want to just have fun, take it easy, or you want to get really serious, you can kind of approach it in whatever way you feel like. And in that way, I feel like it has something to offer anybody. And it's also something that, that feeling of really kind of pushing your limits and kind of going beyond your comfort zone and discovering that we're maybe capable of more than we thought we were, is something that's accessible to everybody. For me, I'm climbing at a super high level, but it's an experience that's really universal. And someone that's just trying it for the first time, they can also tap into that same feeling. And maybe they're not sure they can do something, but through trying and kind of stepping out of their comfort zone, quite often you can realize that you're capable of more than you thought. So it's a really cool sport that from little kids all the way up to people in their 60s and 70s can participate in. And so I think climbing has a lot to offer today's world. So I'm happy to be an ambassador for the sport, and happy to kind of represent our sport through this film. And it's a great opportunity for climbing in general to have this platform to the mainstream public, and it's an honor to be a part of all this.